Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube and where you can find podcasts.
Sports bettors, listen up. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back and in our 30th year of action. With live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service, we got it all. And when you sign up today and use the code SNOWMAN, you will get a 125% deposit match on your deposit. Log on to betus.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered a winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete! 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 Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
You're supposed to know all this stuff, my wife says, and she is the voice that was behind that bump back. So thank you to Dr. K for that. Ryan McCarthy is on the way, and I want to just take a few minutes before he gets here to thank everyone who sent me a birthday wish yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday. It's number 52 for me. And all this is possible because of my beauty, because she didn't give up on me when I got diagnosed with cancer. And believe me, I was in shock. But she immediately kicked into high gear. We got some insurance, moved back up here from North Carolina. And yeah, it was it was something. It was a fight and a half. Like I always say, it's a fight and a half. And I appreciate everybody that sent me birthday wishes yesterday, and they're still sending them this morning. My brother Wise El Jefe, thank you. Russell Luce, thank you. And Russell, I got a bone to pick with you. Hopefully later I'll get a chance to talk to him. My buddy Mike McBride, Vince Carter, not that Vince Carter, but a friend of mine from Chicago State, Lavertus Robinson, one of my buddies from the Chicago Public League, Jumpin' Joe Snidoff, one of my broadcast partners back home in Chicago. And Joe, you and I may be sharing a mic again this year. And even the belated birthdays are flying in. Ryan Ronkowitz, worked with him when he was at Valpo. Greg Rawlings in the house, saying happy birthday. And I want to thank everybody for the birthday wish, including RC, who was with me yesterday when I did my Ask Snowman Anything. And I'm going to do another one today. I'm going to do another Ask Snowman Anything. And like yesterday, nothing is off the table. All right? Nothing is off the table. Let me warm you up with what we're going to talk about with Ryan McCoffey and the Arena Football League. Once upon a time, and yes, it's story time. Once upon a time, no, I don't like that. Once upon a time, the Arena Football League was an event you couldn't turn away from. I got hooked on that league in it since its inception. But now to say that the league has fallen on hard times would be a terrible, terrible understatement. It's an understatement. Because you would think with so much hype that was surrounding this league, that they would, well, in a phrase, have their ish together. And they don't. Because looking through this season, several teams folded, several teams folded and said, I'm out, I'm good. And then you got other teams that stuck around. You got a commissioner that was voted out, who was robbing the league, by the way. It's just been a mess. The Arena Football League's return has been an absolute mess. And then there was the news that Ryan McCarthy sent to me that the Arena Football League's championship game is taking place in a mall. In a mall. What? He's going to explain that because he can explain it better than I can. We're going to take it. Let's take another break while we wait for McCarthy to get here. And when he gets here, we'll come back and we'll have coffee with McCarthy. I promise. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube and where you can find podcasts.
Sports bettors, listen up. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back and in our 30th year of action. With live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service, we got it all. And when you sign up today and use the code SNOWMAN, you will get a 125% deposit match on your deposit. Log on to betus.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered a winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete! 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 Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you total football talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
You think I was organized by now, but I'm not. There's still quite a few things I'm playing around with and getting together, so please be patient with me. Jay Spivey will be here at the bottom of the second hour, but I have a surprise for a friend of mine, and it looks like this. Here he is, Ryan McCarthy, joining us this morning. First time in a while, because like I said, I was getting everything together. Mr. McCarthy, how are you, man?
I don't mean to get political, but how is it? How is it that Joe Biden can step down from announcing his nomination for president, and Aaron Boone still has a job as manager of the New York Yankees?
How is that?
That's not what we're here to talk about.
How is that? How is Aaron Boone still in baseball? Is he now a legacy man? Is he a legacy manager now because of what he did in 2003?
I don't know. When he was announced as manager, I thought to myself, this is not going to work. This was never going to work. And yeah, I mean, look, 2019 aside, what is he? He hasn't done anything. Hasn't done anything.
No.
And lately with the slump that the Yankees have been in, they've won one series since mid-June. Now right before the All-Star break.
Yep.
He's
awful.
He's Lindy Ruff. He's Lindy Ruff. He's juggling the lineup. He's shuffling like Lindy Ruff, like what Lindy Ruff did before he was unceremoniously fired by the New Jersey Devils.
Right.
He was juggling lineups and trying to get the right chemistry in with the batting with his forwards and his defensemen. Aaron Boone's doing the exact same thing with the batting order. It's not working. It's not working. And your only run production is coming from two players. Aaron Judge, Juan Soto. It's the only production you're getting. And it's time to move on.
It is. It is. Speaking of moving on, what the hell happened Friday?
You know, I'm going to defend the Arena Football League.
All right.
I did it on Saturday's edition of No Credentials Required. You go check it out. Not now, but later.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't as look, I get it. People are panning it. Football fans are panning it, saying, "Oh, you're having Herder. You're having your championship football game in a mall." Look, there was other attractions too. Like they had Legoland, they had a water park. All right.
Yep. Yeah.
They had the Nickelodeon Kids Experience, whatever it's called. Thankfully, Dan Schneider was not there.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord.
Had to throw that joke.
Because if he was there, good gracious.
Oh, I would have headed towards the hills.
I think a lot of people would have headed towards the hills.
Yeah, but the way they set it up was really interesting. So it took me a couple hours to get there because I live in upstate New York, so I was going to cover the game. I have some issues with the Arena Football League and how they're handling their credentialing, but you can go back and watch that episode or listen to that episode. That's an entirely different story.
We'll explain that here on a later episode. Let's move on.
Let's move on. But yeah, they had it at the rink in the middle of a retail center, and it was really cool to see just random people with families, with young kids walking by and looking and seeing, wait, there's a football game going on? Yes, there's a football game going on in the middle of a shopping center on Friday evening. Yes, there is, and it was pretty cool. I mean, I think I sent you a picture of what it looked like.
Yeah, you did.
It kind of reminded me of Lucas Oil Stadium with the big open with the windows.
Like, with everything open, and I've seen Lucas Oil from a broadcast standpoint with the windows closed and with it open, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, this was pretty cool. It had the big sun. It looks like it had a big sunroof, and it was shining down on the natural light. And
right,
I thought it was pretty neat, and it was a neat experience. And unfortunately, it didn't go the Albany Firebirds' way. I full props. All right, to the Billings Outlaws. They had and you might be familiar with this name, Snowman. Their starting quarterback, Billings Outlaws. Their starting quarterback is Isaac Harker, who played for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yep.
For a cup of coffee, and he played with the BC Lions.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually took a picture of him standing on the bench. I took a picture. I put it on Facebook. I put it on my Twitter profile. I put it on my Twitter page. Parker, formerly of the CFL, is starting in today's game for the Billings Outlaws in the Arena Bowl. He found it and he liked he liked my post.
Nice, very nice. I've seen 3 live arena games.
Mm-hmm.
One of them involving the Chicago Rush. I had a chance to see them play at the Rosemont Horizon.
Coached by, I presume, Mike Hohensee.
Mike Hohensee.
Yep, former Albany
Firebirds
head coach. Yep,
and that was during the championship year, 2006.
Okay.
The only one I didn't get a chance to get to was the Arena Bowl because it was in Las Vegas. That was Arena Bowl 20.
Yep.
My dad saw me watching arena football, and we got hooked on it the year of its inception, 1987, especially when the Chicago Bruisers made the championship game, which was played at Rosemont Horizon.
Yeah.
And my dad came to me and said, "What is this?" I said, "This is arena football. This is indoor football." My dad said, "Man, this can't be that interesting." Oh yeah.
Oh yes, it was.
We were both proven very, very wrong. And every year, even the years I came back from college, my dad would say to me, "Okay, who are you picking the Arena Football League this year?" And we would do picks, just like we did for the just like we did for college football in the NFL. And God love you, Dad. Dad was like my pops was like Jimmy the Greek.
Can I tell you about my first experience at an arena football game?
Go for it, man. Go for it.
The year was 1990. And my dad and our neighbor from across the street, they decided to treat their boys to an arena football game. So my dad and across the street neighbor, he took us 3 boys, us 3 McCarthy boys, and my older brothers and I, and my neighbor across the street, he took his son.
Yeah,
all went to see the arena of the Albany Firebirds, who at the time they had a good winning streak going. I think they were 3-2 at that point. And they played the Detroit Drive, the Dynasty.
The Detroit Drive, my goodness.
Detroit Drive, the Dynasty, had coached by Tim Markham, God rest his soul.
Yep.
And that was where I learned the expression.
And we couldn't beat Tim Markham to save our life, man.
Nobody could in those days. We
could not beat Tim to save our life. We could not beat him.
I don't think he ever had a losing record as a head coach in that league.
He won at least I want to say he won at least 10 games each year. Because what people don't realize, when the Arena Football League started, it was 16 games, I think. I think it was 16 games.
He had 211 career wins.
What does that tell you about
Yeah, he had the most wins. He had the most wins.
Look,
in arena football history.
For many, many years.
211 and 99.
Yep. He never lost 100 games. Didn't even lose 100 games. Listen, for the years that we watched the Detroit Drive, us Chicago Bruisers fans, we akened it to the Pistons and the Bulls. Yeah. Because the Bruisers would get so close, and then Tim Markham's ass would show up. And when they would air the games live on ABC, because it was with ESPN, who was an independent network at the time, when they would air the games live on ABC, my dad looked and saw the Detroit Drive and went, "Oh, damn it.
Dang." And let me tell you, the Drive absolutely destroyed the Firebirds that game. That's where I learned the expression, nuts and bolts. Boy, did we get screwed.
Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
And to an impressionable 12-year-old, you're like, it's like hearing music for the first time.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Oh.
That was the same. Listen, the Bruisers and the Detroit Drive. The Bruisers were a dynasty in waiting until we played the Detroit Drive, and they kicked our ass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We couldn't beat them at Joe Louis Arena. We sure as hell couldn't beat them in the Rosemont Horizon.
Nope.
And the man. And you said 1990. That year just bring back such memories for me because I did a whole bunch of stuff sports wise in 1990.
And the Firebirds were this close to making the playoffs in their first year. That iteration of the Firebirds only missed the playoffs twice in the 11 seasons that they were in existence. And 1990 was one of the only years that they missed out. The other year was 1990.
Who was their quarterback? I can't remember his name.
Kyle Mackey.
Kyle Mackey. But there was another quarterback. That was another quarterback the Firebirds had that
Tom Porras
setting all kinds of records.
Oh, that was Mike Pulaski.
That's him. That's him.
Yep. And then
every game you see, look at the box score. You see 400 yards, 412, 410,
and 300 and like 250 of those receiving yards were a touchdown Eddie Brown.
Eddie Brown.
Yeah.
Eddie Brown.
It was either Eddie Brown, Greg Hopkins, and I'm trying to remember their other receiver, the third receiver, Freddie Gales, I want to say.
Yeah.
Maybe? Or was he with the New York City Hawks at that point after when they won the Arena Bowl?
Cool. Wasn't Arena Football League cool once upon a time?
It still is.
Well, yeah.
I guess with growing pains. It needs stabilization. All right. It needs stabilization. And I think they'll get it in this offseason.
And that's all that's missing.
That's all that's missing. And
that's all that's missing. You bring the teams back that want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you bring them back.
Yep.
A little stable. Okay. What kind of stabilization do they need? Since we opened the can of worms, we may as well dump that sumbitch out. What kind of stabilization do they need?
They need
you're the arena football. You're the arena football savant for the program. And I just made that official, folks, and I mean it.
Thank you.
Listen, you are for Arena Football League. Of course, you're one of my Jets insiders for the program and for the network, and I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And also, you and this name should sound familiar. Clark Monroe are my CFL guys.
Beauty Clark.
Yeah, you and Clark Monroe are my CFL guys.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of CFL, damn you, Calgary Stampeders.
Can we put up the last comment from RC?
Like this?
Yes. And he writes out, he says, a mall, I can't quite fathom it. Malls are on their way out around the country, and maybe the Arena Football League is too. LOL, crying, laughing emoji, JK.
Mm-hmm.
American Dream is more than just a mall, all right? It's right across the street from MetLife Stadium. It shares the same parking lot as MetLife Stadium. It's kind of like Mall of America is, with the amusement park and all the attractions on the inside. I think it's what Crossgates Mall in my area is trying to be.
I used to work at Mall of America, but
so it's kind of like that. So it's got the skating rink, it's got the water park, it's got the big Ferris wheel on the outside, it's got all these attractions. I think the Arena Football League played this well. They needed some sort of an attraction to say, okay, we've got the contract from CBS Sports Network where they're going to broadcast our playoff games and the Arena Bowl.
Yes.
Cool. Very cool. All right. All that stuff with NFL Network fell through, unfortunately, because of the commissioner who was there before, who is now
robbing people blind.
See, I don't know about that, but he just wasn't there. So, but here's the thing too.
And he was so incompetent. It wasn't. He's about as incompetent as Jarrell.
See, the league. See, you can't survive when the league can't survive when it owns 8 of the 16 teams that start out. also, I think they started out too big. Started out
Yes.
with 16 teams, and 8 of them didn't have owners. 8 of them were owned by the league. You try to follow that same model that the Arena Football League had when it ended in 2019 because they didn't pay their insurance bills. But I think
Yeah.
they played it smart with having it in an attraction where people are passing by. They can look at the product for free. They
Right.
can go up to the second and third levels and watch from above.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets the kids into it. I was walking back to the parking lot to go to my car and head back to New York. And I was just talking to little kids. I was talking to the parents. I was talking to little kids, talking to their parents, saying, "Hey, do you guys see the football game? You guys see the football game?" They're like, "Yeah." Do you like it? Yeah. That's what counts.
Yeah.
And I said it on No Credentials Required on Saturday, and I've been echoing this throughout the entire year. How do you build an audience for your league? You build it by making it accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the Arena Football League did. It was a wise decision to have it played at American Dream. And I know we had those reports saying that the league might postpone the game to find a new location because it couldn't secure the location for American Dream. All those reports were unequivocally false. I think my theory is it came from the last regime, the regime that came out. Like it was voted out and all resigned because they lied to all the teams that were supposed to be there and who folded or said we're going to go dark until next season. So I think that's where that news came from. That's just my theory. I don't know for sure, but the game still happened. The game went on TV.
It did.
Eyes were on it, both on TV and walking through the mall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at first I was like, really in a mall, but then I went to the location. I was like, okay, I get it. I know what they did now.
Yeah. Because when I lived in Minnesota, they were taping a game show there called Mall Masters.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what the hell is this? So, of course, I told my boss I was going on a break, and I snuck away and snuck upstairs to watch it. And I watched every taping they did. I watched every single taping they did, and I'm like, man, this is cool.
Snowman, I don't know if you've heard this news yet, but I have some breaking news.
Uh-oh. Breaking news coming up.
And you'll probably touch on this later in the program, but the United States Olympic Committee has chosen a flag bearer for the opening ceremony.
Oh, God. Stop. You don't have to say anything more. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. Thank you, Cole Johnson, for that.
Cole Johnson, my hero.
Mine too.
Yeah.
And even though it's Monday, I gotta do it. And I mean this very sarcastically.
Can I leave first?
Even because yes, LeBron, it is you. It's always been you. It always will be you forever and ever. Amen. Man, I heard that this morning while driving to pick up my daughter, and I went, oh no. And then he backed it up with, this has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
Yep.
And nearly fell out of my car laughing. I was like, how did I know this was coming? Your favorite Arena League rivalry?
Albany, Orlando.
Y'all hate
because
each other.
I will say this: the only reason why is because they had for so many years, and still in the circles I run with Arena Football, the OGs with Arena Football.
Yes,
the argument is and forever will be who was the greatest Arena Football player. Eddie Brown or Barry Wagner. And there are arguments for either
Okay.
or.
How about we split it and say both? Because Barry Wagner was the Iron Man among Iron Men.
Oh, for sure. Played wide receiver and Mac linebacker.
Yep, and
Jack
linebacker.
Jack linebacker. Mac is the one who rushes in.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He played both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And was damn good at it, because every time you see number 82, or every time if you didn't see number 82, you're going, okay, wait a minute, what is wrong with this team? Barry's not out there. But with him being the Iron Man that he was, God bless him, that's the number you always look for. And
Absolutely.
for Albany, it was downtown Eddie Brown or touchdown Eddie Brown.
Downtown Eddie Brown was CFL for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Yes.
Elkimos.
Elkimos. I still call them. I heard you.
I know you still call them the Eskimos because you're transgressive. That's how you roll. I get it.
Look, I'm old and I'm old school. Okay. I still call them the Eskimos. I know your joke with the Elkimos, which had me in a fit of giggles.
I got that from RP. I got that from Rod Peterson. That's how I got it from. I can't take.
Oh, you got it from Rod? Nice.
Yeah, Rod said it first. He's like the Edmonton Elkimos. Like, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Rod is a character. And I love him.
I gotta get him back. We're coming up on episode 200 of No Credentials Required for the podcast. So that'll be in mid-August, because we're gonna take a short break at the beginning of August for first and second weeks. We're gonna get fueled up for the NFL season. So
it's gonna be a busy one.
It is going to be a busy one, that's for sure.
It is going to be a busy one.
So back to your question about stabilizing the league. All right. So they need a full-time commissioner. I hope that Jeff Fisher accepts the full-time job. He's interim commissioner through the end of the season, but I hope he accepts.
They need to remove that interim tag.
Yes, they need to remove that interim tag if he wants it. Because I know he was involved with the Nashville Cats as team president. I'm hoping he accepts, because he made sure things got done in that league.
Yes.
Second thing they need to do is they need to distinguish the rules. Is it going to be Iron Man, or is it going to be single platoon, where you have set positions where you have set positions on both sides of the ball? It's not guys playing both ways. It has to be one or the other, because there was so much confusion this season on different games. All right, which rule? And also they got to distinguish between an indoor and arena football rules.
Yeah,
because in week 2, when Albany played Nashville, there was confusion as to what rules they were using for that game, and they went with arena rules for that game. So those people were playing Iron Man, and there was a lot of confusion and anger around that. So I think they need to stabilize. They need to establish which form of the game they're playing, whether it be Iron Man or single platoon, and have a full-time commissioner.
Your thoughts?
And
which way do you think it should be played? Should it go Iron Man?
Either way works. Either way works, because I've seen both iterations up close and personal. I personally like the single platoon because it gives you more depth.
Right.
But I'm not going to argue against Iron Man either.
Okay. It was 88 where they played a total of 12 games. 87 they only played 6 games. Live research.
They had
folks.
four teams.
Yeah. Live research, folks.
Yeah.
And our live research is presented by SeatGeek. I'm working on a few visuals to help the program out, and people are wondering, how the hell are you doing this? Cole introduced me to a new weapon, which is how I was able to make the new opening with the new logo and everything, because I did it
with the new black cup.
Yep.
Shiny.
I just went with it that way. I just went with it, and I revised a few other things. It's not a complete brand change, but a brand update. Since Cole designed the logo, I made a couple of tweaks with it, sent it back to him. He gave me the green light and said, go for it. Gave it to my wife. She gave me the green light and said, go for it. And that's how the branding's going to go. And yes, I will have some shirts with your name on it and his name on it and mine and Jody's. And by NFL kickoff season, I should have the shirts.
Cool.
No, by NFL kickoff season, I will have the shirts.
All right. So I got to run.
All right.
Back to work.
Yeah.
A couple announcements for this week.
Yep.
We're Tuesday's show is being moved to Wednesday. We have a
Mhm.
special guest for our last installment of No Ticket Required for the summer, bringing
Right.
in former Arena Football League wide receiver Colin Taylor. He was in American Underdog, so he's going to talk a little
Nice.
bit about the film. And
Nice.
Saturday brunch, we're going to bring back local talk show sports radio legends Jeff Levac and Tom Goslowski for a live show on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So you
Beautiful.
don't want to miss it. And then next Tuesday
Beautiful.
show, the 30th, we're our last show until we take a break. We come back on the 19th.
All right. And I need to get back on No Credentials Required again. It's fun.
Yeah, it is.
It's fun hanging with you guys, and it's fun for you to hang out with us here. I appreciate you. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
We got a break. Jay Spivey is next.